The bruise on Emma's cheek had faded to a sickly yellow by the time she walked into the Cedar Creek diner that Tuesday morning. She'd gotten good at hiding them, at tilting her head just right so her hair fell across her face, at wearing long sleeves even in the brutal Texas heat. 3 years had taught her how to disappear in plain sight, how to smile at customers while her ribs screamed from last night's assault, how to pretend everything was fine when her world had become a carefully constructed lie. Marcus would be home at 6. That gave her exactly 9 hours to finish her shift, buy groceries with the money he'd counted out for her that morning, and have dinner on the table. 9 hours to exist in a space where she could almost remember who she used to be before his fists rewrote her story. The breakfast rush passed in its usual blur. Emma poured coffee, delivered plates of eggs and bacon, and collected tips that she'd have to hide in the lining of her winter coat. Marcus checked her pockets every night, convinced she was saving money to leave him. He wasn't wrong, but after 3 years, she'd only managed to hide $73, not nearly enough to disappear. The diner was almost empty when the cowboy walked in. Emma noticed his boots first, genuine leather worn soft with age, not the costume store kind that weekend ranchers wore. He moved with a quiet certainty, choosing a booth by the window where the afternoon sun painted everything gold. His face was weathered, probably 60, with eyes that seemed to notice everything without trying. She brought him coffee without asking. He thanked her with a nod and ordered the chicken fried steak. Emma wrote it down, started to turn away, but his voice stopped her. "That bruise giving you trouble?" he asked quietly. Emma's hand flew to her cheek instinctively. "I'm clumsy." Walked into a cabinet. The cowboy took a slow sip of his coffee. "I had a horse once, beautiful mare named Dakota, sweet as sugar, but she'd spook at shadows. Kicked me more times than I can count." He paused, his eyes meeting hers with unexpected gentleness. "But horses don't make excuses for hurting you. That's a human invention." Emma felt something crack inside her chest. For 3 years, no one had said anything. Neighbors heard the shouting. Co-workers saw the bruises, but everyone looked away. This stranger's simple observation felt like someone had finally turned on a light in her darkness. "I'll get your order," she whispered, retreating to the kitchen before tears could betray her. The cowboy came back the next day, and the day after that. Always ordered the same thing, always sat in the same booth, always left a $20 tip on an $8 meal. On the 4th day, he slid a business card across the table with his payment. James Mitchell, it read, with a phone number written on the back in careful handwriting. "My daughter," he said, his voice rough with old pain. She stayed too long with a man who hurt her, thought she could fix him, thought she deserved it, thought she had nowhere to go. By the time she found the courage to leave, she'd lost 3 years of her life. He stood up, settling his hat on his head. She survived, built herself back piece by piece. Runs a women's shelter now, 3 hours north in Austin. Emma stared at the card, unable to speak. "That number will reach her directly, day or night, when you're ready." He paused at the door, turning back, and "Emma, you've already been brave enough to survive. Leaving just takes a different kind of courage, the kind you already have." That night, Marcus came home drunk and angry about a missed promotion. Emma knew the pattern, knew what was coming. But as his fists drew back, something inside her refused to break anymore. She thought of the cowboy's daughter, of 3 years lost, of how many more she'd lose if she stayed. She blocked his swing with her forearm, feeling bone meet bone, and ran. She ran like she should have run 3 years ago, grabbing nothing but her purse and the coat with $73 hidden in its lining. She ran to the diner, to the payphone outside, and with shaking fingers, she dialed the number on the card. A woman answered on the second ring. Her voice was strong and gentle at once. "This is Sarah. Are you safe?" "No," Emma sobbed. "But I'm ready. Where are you, sweetheart?" 2 hours later, Sarah pulled up in a weathered pickup truck, her father in the passenger seat. They drove through the night, Emma silent in the back, watching her old life disappear in the side mirror. At a rest stop just outside Austin, James bought her coffee and a sandwich she couldn't eat. "You did the hardest part," he said. "The rest is just one day at a time." The shelter was a converted Victorian house painted yellow like hope. Sarah showed Emma to a small room with a bed, clean sheets, and a lock on the door that only she controlled. As Emma sat on the bed, really alone for the first time in 3 years, she pulled out the business card. On the front, below James Mitchell's name, she noticed words she'd missed before. "Sometimes strangers are just family you haven't met yet." She fell asleep holding that card, dreaming not of the past but of mornings without fear, of a life she'd build one brave choice at a time. Outside her window, the Texas sky turned from black to gray to gold, a new day breaking on a woman finally free.